Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mac here, and I have somewhat of a special little Blazer video to share with you all. You may have already seen it, seen some pictures or seen some videos, but the Blazer went to Muldrow Cruise Night. 2023, it made it to Muldrow Cruise Night. A couple things, it did not drive around. It did not even drive itself off the trailer, and you know, that's okay. In my book, I got it down there mostly because I really want to start showing it to people, and also it's going to be a motivation for me to help get it done. One thing it does do is it does run. It doesn't run great yet. The tune still needs some work, but it does run. And it sounds pretty good in my opinion. It's definitely rowdy. You know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's kind of achieving the goals that I wanted to in terms of sound. And yeah, but basically this is kind of like an intro into a few clips that I've taken throughout the week. Basically, long story short is I decided about the first part of this week to start making plans to, hey, there's not a lot left to do on this to be able to have it at cruise night. It will not be done. I understood that. You know, I thought maybe I might be able to drive it around, but you know, that was kind of a hope there, but I knew for a fact that I really wanted to try to have it running. And so I called up my buddy, and you know, he didn't have a lot of work going on, so it worked out. He helped me out throughout the week. We knocked out the little punch list of things that I had as best we could. And you know, he may have had some really early mornings to try to beat the heat, and I went over there starting Wednesday, I guess it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember. I started going over there in the evenings to help get stuff done as well. And it was Tuesday. I started on Tuesday, just to kind of help knock that stuff off the punch list. And then, you know, yesterday, about, I would say it's probably about 3 o'clock is when we got finished with the punch list. We got it running and all that, and went from there. But this was all a surprise to my Mimi, to my grandma. I thought it'd be neat to be able to get it down there to show her. She has only ever been able to see it kind of in passing whenever she's come up to the house. And, you know, she had never heard it before. A lot of people that were down there had never heard it before. A lot of them never seen it before. Like, actually in person, they've seen pictures or heard videos and whatnot. But I thought it'd be really neat to surprise her and get it down there. So I think I managed to do a pretty good job of making sure that it was going to be a surprise for her. You know, normally she's the one, I talk to her every day. Normally I'm telling her about what I have planned next for the Blazer. We always talk car and truck stuff. That's just what we do. So it was really hard for me to not tell her, but I was glad that I didn't in the end, because when we pulled up, she had no idea, and it was just really exciting to be able to, you know, share this with her. You know, something that we've talked about on the phone for months now. I mean, every day for months now, pretty much. And you know, it's just really exciting to be able to share that with her and with other people down there. You know, I had my cousin came and looked at it. I got to actually show it to my uncle, who he's helped me out on the phone a lot too. And you know, it's a really neat experience, and it's something too that's kind of, his memories were made just working on it this week to get it prepared for this. I see people doing stuff like this on YouTube where, you know, they're thrashing to get a car or a truck running for a particular event or whatever. And you know, while I'm not nearly as experienced as a lot of those people, I would say I think we still did a decent job, and it was exciting. I mean, it was a neat little experience. It's definitely a memory that I'll have for a while, and you know, it's good motivation. Now that I've had it down there, people have seen it, people have heard it. It's good motivation to get it done, and you know, actually be able to cruise it around for a cruise night next year. But anyways, that's a really long intro into all these clips that you're about to see. If you make it all the way to the end, I appreciate it. Even if you don't, because it's going to be a longer video, because you know, some of these clips are several minutes over these past few days. Just kind of going through pretty much what was done. And I'll just go ahead and say this: I did not get any video of actually being at cruise night, aside from my mom and Pam got some videos of it when I fired it up, and so you can hear it, but that's really all I got. I did not do a good job of actually videoing anything down there, and I only got like one picture, and that was with Mimi in front of the Blazer. But so I will say I dropped the ball there. There's not really just a big conclusion there. This will be the conclusion for that. Cruise night was really fun. It was different for me because it's the first time I've ever had that down here or down there, and but it was still exciting because I actually got to talk with people about it and point out some of the things that, you know, some people might not have ever seen. I mean, there's some things in there that if you're not a car person, or even if you are a car person but you've not done some of this stuff, this is different to you. And so it's kind of, I found it interesting, and it was a fun time. But you know, I'm just going to go and say this. I try to say it every time that anybody talks to me about cruise night, is you do not have to be a car person to enjoy it. Pam is really not a car person. Believe it or not, she's really not a car person. Victoria is kind of the same way. She's probably a little bit more of a car person than Pam is. But you know, Fred and I really like it. My mom likes the cars. Thomas likes the cars. And of course Mimi likes the cars, and I do too. But you do not have to be a car person to enjoy this. It's a fun little event where you can just hang out with people, see some cars that you don't really see every day. There's some old stuff that you might look at that and you might, hey, you know, I would drive that car. I mean, there's definitely cars out like that. And then there's some really crazy stuff too, some radical stuff. And you know, it's all sorts of different colors and flavors is what I like to call it. And it's really, I consider them to be like art. So as long as you can stand some heat, and you know, some occasional tire smoke. Thankfully the exhaust fumes are not that bad, really, so you don't really have to worry about that. But if you can handle some heat and some tire smoke, then you know, you might consider coming down. It is a fun time. There's also some pretty good little restaurants to eat at in Muldrow and the surrounding area. So I would just suggest coming, you know, at least once. You don't have to be there the whole time, but you know, even if you came for just a little bit, it is a fun time. It's always the first Saturday in August. So this year, 2023, it turned out to be August 5th. But yeah, that's the easiest way to remember it, is it's always going to be the first Saturday in August. That's how they've done it for the past 10 years, I'm pretty sure. And it's just seemed to have gotten bigger every year. But you know, I'm kind of rambling on at this point. I just want to say again, thank you guys for all your support. This takes a village to be able to do something like this, even if you're not here physically helping or something, or if I'm not calling you and asking for your input and your knowledge on something. You know, even just the comments on the post or the text or the, you know, comments of when I see you out in person about, hey man, like, you know, that's looking really cool, or that's looking really good, you're making a lot of progress, I'm proud of you, all that. That's super beneficial to me, and I really do appreciate it. I mean, this is a labor of love. Whatever hobby you may have, whatever big project you might be dealing with, maybe you maybe you restore old furniture, or maybe you are working on your house, or all of these things, and you're doing stuff and you're learning it for the first time. You'll understand that even just little comments and little remarks about, you know, you're doing a good job, that is huge, and it really is a big motivation. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to take this to cruise night, even though some people probably think I'm crazy for taking a truck that cannot drive to an event where you cruise around in your car. And even though, you know, I just rolled it off the trailer just so people can get a better look at it and all these things, I mean, there's a lot of work that, you know, a lot of people be like, you're just crazy for doing that. This is big motivation for me, and I mean, we're going to come back probably swinging really hard for next year. I mean, there's really just some little details and gremlins to work with now, as long as we don't break any more parts. But yeah, again, I'm rambling, so I just want to say thank you guys again. I hope you all enjoy these next few videos and clips of me preparing to get this Blazer ready for cruise night so I could surprise Mimi. Hey, what's going on everybody? Mac here with another Blazer update, and this week is a little bit exciting. we got cruise night coming up this upcoming weekend, and no, the Blazer will not be done for cruise night, but I decided to do something anyway. So she doesn't know it yet, but my grandma Mimi, who lives in the town that cruise night happens in, I'm gonna go down there and surprise her with the Blazer. My goal is to have it at least running so that she can hear it. Probably not going to be driving. It might be drivable technically, but actually driving it in cruise night probably not going to happen. I just don't think I'm going to have enough time to do some testing to make sure everything works like it's supposed to. But yeah, I'm going to try to have it running and take it down there on a trailer so that Mimi can see it, and I feel like that's going to be a lot of motivation for me to get it done. So yeah, like I said, she doesn't know this yet. She thinks I'm just coming down there just to hang out like normal. She actually asked me if I was bringing the Blazer down, and I did kind of lie. Well, there's no kind of about it. I did pretty much straight up lie to her, saying no, that I wasn't. But I think I pretty well convinced her that I'm not. So I think she'll be really surprised whenever she does see it. But let me go ahead and kind of show you guys what I've gotten done today. I have to do a little bit each day. Today's Monday right now. I have to get a little bit done after work each day to make sure that actually happens, but I'll go and show you guys what I got done for today. So really, I just have a bunch of little small detail things to get it running. Getting it driving isn't a whole lot more than that, aside from really testing things out. But to go along with the little details, one of the things was this particular fuel line right here, running between these fuel rails. I did not have a good fitting connection, I guess you can call it, on there, and these did leak a little bit. So I ended up remaking that fuel line. I had to buy a whole new line because I guess I threw away all my old line. And when I was trying to remake the original one, I ended up cutting it up too short. So I just went ahead and bought some new line, got some new fittings, and started over. And now that I kind of know what I'm doing, those went pretty smooth. Another thing was the steam vent port kit. I'm actually just going to run the front two steam ports. I believe it's on this driver's side head. There's a little knockout from the factory, like a little rivet type thing that's actually in the port for that. And the only way to really get that out safely, and you can drill it out with the head on the engine, but really the ideal way is to take the head off, and I just really don't want to do that. I really figure too, with what this engine's doing, that's probably going to be okay. If it's not, can fix that at some point later on. Over here it's capped off from factory. The other side is not. It is open. So I got these are trick flow fittings. You can get them from anywhere else too, but that's just who I happen to get. And I'm going to put that on there and just put a little, I believe that these are 4, these might be 6 actually, -6 lines. So I'm just going to run a little cap on that, and or no, maybe just 4. These are 4. I'm just kidding. These are 4 -4 lines. So I'm just going to get a little -4 cap to put on that port back there. And then these two, I have a T right here, which I don't have this line done yet. I'm going to put it into the radiator, the upper radiator hose. I have a little Mishimoto coupler coming in for that. Should be here tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. So I'll end up cutting this line to length whenever I get that in and tying it into here. I do have a T over here. That's just the fittings I happen to get with the Trick Flow kit. That Trick Flow kit was a 4-corner kit. Obviously, I'm not running all 4 corners, so I have some extra stuff that I don't really need. I don't really need that T there, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cap that off as well. And hopefully that all works right. Some other things I did get done over the weekend. It's going to be kind of hard to show you guys, but I'll try my best. I got the transmission cooler lines done. These are stainless braided lines. How I have this set up is this hose comes from the transmission, comes from the, I guess it would be the outlet of the transmission, going up into the top of the radiator and then down to the bottom. This runs all the way back to the externally mounted transmission cooler. It's going to take me a second to get over there. I have to get on the creeper to kind of show y'all. Okay, so I just ended up crawling under here because the camera lighting was really bad. But so that this is from cooler to radiator. That one is from cooler to transmission. that was set up to where you can run it either way. And hoses are long enough that if I did end up running it wrong, I could swap them. It's no big deal. But they just run alongside the frame rail. It is a mess under here right now. Don't judge me. But they run underneath there. And then I won't really be able to show y'all, but they do tie in to the transmission. I'll try my best to show this. But it is very cramped under here. So yeah, you can see that's transmission out and that's transmission in. So we got that done. That really wasn't too bad. And then some of the other things I got to get done. I have a little checklist on my phone to help me keep track of what stuff I have to get done. But the other big thing is I have to get the driver's side coil packs mounted. I have the passenger side done. They're already wired. I got to get the plug wires done for that. Having a lot of trouble with plug wires. But thankfully I do have some friends that are better at that than I am, and I just got to cut them to length, and we'll see if they can help me. But that's one of the things I got to get done. And then also there's just little wiring stuff, little wiring details, little wiring gremlins, as I want to call them, that I got to get done. That really they're like that because when I was trying to get this thing running originally, I kind of did some shortcuts, and they did work to get it running, but they're not by any means a like a lifetime fix or anything like that. So I got to fix those things. But yeah, that's probably all I want to do for today. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in. Like I said, it's really just a little detail stuff just to get it running. And like I said, I probably can get it driving, but it really needs to be road tested a little bit before I just take it out, especially with anybody in it. I'm going to test drive it around the neighborhood, just taking around the block. And yeah, but yeah, that's going to be it for Monday. I'll catch you all tomorrow with another update. So a little bit of a change of plans. I'm driving right now, so I'm going to pay attention to the road and not the camera. But yeah, like I said, a little bit of a change of plans. I have a buddy of mine who is going to help me get some stuff done on the Blazer this week to help, maybe get us further along than what I had originally thought I could do. I was really figuring, just getting it driving. I say driving, wrong. Getting it running, and then, that way I can at least show Mimi or let her hear what it sounds like, because it sounds freaking sweet. Yeah, so we're gonna see. I'm going to pick up a trailer right now to try to get it over to his shop so that he can work on it throughout the week while I'm at work, and then I can try to go by there in the evenings and help get some more stuff done, because I have a list of items. Not all of the things need to get done before this. I just like to have it running. Driving would be really cool. I just don't see that happening, like I said earlier, but you never know. He's helping me out here by putting some time towards this, and so we're gonna see. This is kind of reminiscent. I don't know if I ever did a video of it. I think I did video it, but I don't think it ever made it to any videos or anything. But there was a time that there was an evening where I had several of my friends over helping, family members too. I had let's see, got to get count here, and we had some motivators there too, for emotional support and all that. See, it was me, and then we had Victoria, of course, and then Thomas, Mom, Fred and Pam were there. We had my buddy Cole, had my buddy William, and there was about 3 hours in an evening that we just really went wrenching on the Blazer, trying to get as much stuff done as we could, with the goal of having it fired up that evening. It did not happen, but this is kind of reminiscent of that in a way. Although it's not going to be just one evening, it's going to be over a few days, but I'm excited about it. So we're going to see. Yeah, I just want to give you all a little update on that, because this was really a very last minute decision. We just got finished with dinner, and now I'm going to pick up the trailer so that I can try to get the Blazer over to his shop tomorrow. So
fingers crossed everything goes well. But yeah, that's the update for right now. I'll keep you all in the loop.
All right, so like I said yesterday, today's Tuesday now, so I told y'all yesterday, Monday, a little bit of a change of plans that we're gonna load the Blazer up on a trailer and take it over to a buddy's shop, let him get some work done on it to help me speed this process up along. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the Blazer hopefully loaded up on the trailer, no problems. Knowing my luck, that's not normally how it happens, but we'll try to make sure nobody gets hurt. It's just me here, so I'll play it safe, and we'll see what we can get going here. All right, so here you can see that I'm making progress in getting the truck winched up onto the trailer. I was running into a few little issues here, mostly one of the big things is the rear wheels wouldn't spin. The rear end was locked up or something like that, and I don't really know what was happening there, so I ended up having to use dollies to get it there. But yeah. Well, that took a minute. Obviously got some stuff to figure out. I don't quite know why the rear wheels won't turn. I had it in neutral, had the transfer case in neutral, and didn't want to move. So I don't know what's going on there. That's something I've known about for a minute, but I don't know. Obviously even the winch pulling it didn't do it. I didn't know if maybe the brakes are just kind of tight, but I don't know if you noticed, kind of pay close attention in there, which it's a time lapse, so it's probably hard to tell, but the wheels do move a little bit, so I gotta figure out what's going on there. Maybe we can figure that out over the shop, but it's up on the trailer. I gotta strap it all down. Of course I forgot to go get straps, so I'll have to go get that, but we're like 40% of the way there. I'll see you all in a little bit. So we just got the Blazer dropped off. I actually got it dropped off a minute ago now. I forgot that I was still connected to the car. My phone was still connected to the car whenever I was videoing the first one. So the audio is really bad, but we got it over there. It could have gone better. It could have also gone worse. But we did get it over there. I don't know what's going on with the rear end. We did manage to get it spinning. It took a second to get it going. And I say that like we were within 10 feet of getting it up on the lift, and we were using car dollies to help move it, and because the front was rolling just fine, it was just the rear that was locked up, and using those car dollies, well, there's a little lip going into the shop, a little concrete lip, and we hit that, and it knocked the dollies out from underneath it, but the wheels came slamming down. And I say slamming down, it's like a 2-inch drop, so it can't really slam that far. Nothing was hurt, but it did manage to make it spin, so I don't know if there's just something locked up in there. You know, there obviously could be mechanical issues in there that, you know, there's maybe something mechanically, like physically locking it and keeping it from spinning. We're going to hope for the best there, though. But yeah, I want to keep from jabbering on here. That's the update for Tuesday. I'll see you all tomorrow for another update where he's going to start wrenching on it in the morning, and he feels pretty confident that we can make it happen. He said we might even actually at least drive it off the trailer. He doesn't know about the driving, but being able to drive it off the trailer so everybody can look at it a little bit better. But yeah, you're getting to see a little bit extra. I'm just kidding. Don't be inappropriate. But yeah, Victoria's walking at me now, so I gotta go. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. All right, so I'm doing this video last minute because I kind of forgot to do it. But we're on Wednesday. My buddy was able to get quite a bit done on the Blazer today. Brakes are all working. There's one line that he has to mess with in the morning, one fitting that's still leaking, but he got all the brakes bled, and he may have to do a little bit of rebleeding once he gets that one figured out. Turns out some of the flares and some of the lines I did were not good. They were leaking, so we had to redo some of those. But yeah, he got that done. Plug wires are all done. He got the driver's side coil packs somewhat mounted. We still got to finish up mounting them. Sorry if you hear a chewing sound. Murphy's over here. He's scratching.
He's basically chewing on himself. But we got the coil packs mounted and the plug wires done. Some of the other things we got to do, we got to put gear oil in the transfer case, which we went and got that tonight. So he's going to do that tomorrow. The rear diff is still, one of the spider gears is taken out. The chewed up spider gear is taken out. For the purpose of getting it up on a trailer and taking it off, I think I can make it work with just the one spider gear. Obviously, it's not ideal to drive on by any means, but I think it'll be enough to move it. But the things we got to do, or he got all the body mounts all checked, which shout out to Tractor Supply for actually having bolts longer than 5 inches. Lowe's and the other places around here do not have bolts that go over 5 inches of length. I had a special order those off, I say special order, I had to order those off McMaster Car last time, but thankfully there's a local place that has them and it's a lot cheaper. So all the body mounts are done except for the two upper cab mounts. The bolts were too short, but he's got those now. I'm trying to think of other things that we got to do. I got my coupling in for the steam vent that connects in with the upper radiator hose. So I got that put in. I got to make the line to go to that tomorrow. I believe the caps for that are supposed to show up, or for the other ports are supposed to show up Friday, maybe tomorrow, but I think it's gonna be Friday. So the other things we got to do are just a little bit of wiring cleanup. It won't be 100% done, but it'll be enough to get it going for this. The exhaust, the driver's side pipe run is far enough away from the frame rail that that's good. We can fit the muffler on there. The passenger side, because it kicks up over the transfer case, we're gonna have to kick that back down, get it away from the frame rail. So tomorrow I still have a little piece of pipe section. It was a U shape that I started off with. It's about a half U right now, kind of like a J. Kind of looks like a J. That I'll take that with me tomorrow. I'll kind of mock that up, and then maybe Friday try to get somebody at work to weld that up for me, so that we can get that passenger side muffler on there. And then we got to do, there are a couple of the leaf spring bolts that the some of the front bolts are actually too small a diameter, so I need to get the correct size there. And then some of the bolts in the rear leaf springs are actually too short, so I need to get longer ones there. Again, I think Tractor Supply is going to be our saving grace there and have all that stuff. And then honestly, apart from that, I can't really think of a lot. I mean, it'd be nice to have a seat mounted in there, obviously at least one seat. And then it'd be putting a battery up in there. I don't know what's happened to my battery tray. I had a battery tray at some point. I don't know where I put it. So it may be a ratchet strap in place type thing. But you know, that's all I can think of right now. I have a list of other things. I know there's more on that list, but it's a bunch of little nitty-gritty detail stuff. But yeah, that's it for the Wednesday update. I didn't really work on it a whole lot today, just because it was so hot. But he got a lot done, and then I think tomorrow he'll be pretty well caught up with having everything that he'll have stuff for. And you know, I'm taking a half day Friday, so I think we're gonna be good. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's the update for Wednesday. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Hey, it's Mac. I definitely forgot to do the Thursday update video. And we're on Friday. Basically end of day Friday. And we got everything done except for it running. I gotta go home, do some tuning on the computer with the Terminator software. I think the issue is stemming from my particular injectors not being listed handheld for the Terminator. And I think also, so we tried firing it. So we tried firing it once. Well, I guess really twice. The first time battery was dead. Second time it backfired. It was not as bad a backfire as I've had before, but it was a backfire. Oh, cow, very white. But we had a backfire, and I don't know if it's because I had some settings wrong in the Terminator. So I fired the engine before, but it's been disconnected from the battery for so long that it wiped. Well, I say it wiped. I think it wiped. I didn't actually check. I should have checked before I started configuring it again, but configuring, yeah. And so I should have checked that before I started this with it, but I didn't. So mistake there. I would have figured that it would have deleted the file, though. It's been disconnected from my battery for like 9 months, so I don't know. But we got everything else done. The trans cooler is it's kind of wired. It's kind of like hot wired, I guess. Basically, where it's on all the time as soon as you have ignition on. Wow, that is very bright. Wow, sun's very bright out today. But yeah, it's kind of where we're at. Yesterday we ended off with only having just a few things that we're supposed to check off the list today that we thought was only going to take us like 3 hours, and ended up taking us see, I went over there about 12:30, and it's 7:30 right now, so it gives you an idea. Turn here. But yeah, that's the only thing that we should have to kind of work out right now. I think we got the fuel leaks figured out. We got steam vents all routed, all the lines done for that. Exhaust is makeshift done. Not ideal, and it will not be the end result by any means, but that's kind of how it is right now. Bumpy road. But yeah, I gotta go, like I said, I gotta go home, check on the tune on my computer. Hopefully that goes well, because I would really hate for us to get all that stuff done just for it to not run because of the tune. So we're gonna see. Hope for the best. Hopefully we can get that done, and I go over in the morning. It fires out. If it's perfect, no problems, and then I can load it up on a trailer and we can go. But yeah, that's it. I would keep rambling, but I would be repeating the same things I've already told you guys. So that's the update really for Thursday and Friday, and hopefully I see you all in the morning, and that it's running, it's on the trailer, it's good to go. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Alright, so it's Saturday. Got a good night's rest last night after a long day of working on the Blazer. Where I left you guys off with was we got everything done, but it did not start. So I did a little bit of playing around on the Terminator software last night on my laptop. I think I got a good bass tune going. I was actually able to select the things I needed to select. I don't know, there's something going on with the little handheld. It may need to be updated or something like that, but basically, without just boring you guys with details, when I went to select my my injectors were not showing up in the list. I'm running a Gen 3 6-liter, so it has a 24X or 24 tooth, I guess, reluctor wheel. And the only thing that's important to know about that, really, for the sake of this, is you have two options. In Gen 4, I went to a 58 tooth reluctor wheel, and for some reason, for the 24 tooth, like, because that is what I have, when I selected that, my injectors were not showing up there. So they did show up in the 58 tooth one, but you know, I wasn't going to select that because that's not what I have, and I don't know what all that handles, and I do not want to cause potentially a major issue there. But on the laptop with the Terminator software, I was able to select everything I needed to select it. I got my the 24 tooth electro wheel with the correct injectors that I have. I don't remember the number for them right off the top of my head, but they are a style of flex fuel injector from AC Delco. So I got all that selected, got all that put in, and just did some very basic like initial start tune for it. So I got to go to Walmart and get an SD card reader because I got to be able to flash that directly to the ECU. So I got all that done. There was something else I realized too. I can't remember if I talked about this in yesterday's update or not, but if I did, then here's a repeat. If I didn't, then here you know. I think, wow, voice cut out for a second. I think that I may have wired the coils backwards, and here's my reasoning for thinking this. Okay, so on a OEM LS motor, your coils are mounted on the valve covers. Now I did a remote mount coil setup because I'm running older style valve covers. They're like old small block Chevrolet valve covers because I like the look of them, and I ended up mounting the coil packs on the inner fender. So they're really not, they're just a little bit further away than they would have been stock. They're still in an easy place for maintenance, but because of how I did that, so if you think about this, the way the coil packs are mounted on the valve covers, they point, the end of the coil points down towards the spark plug. Okay, so by me moving them over to the inner fenders, you can think of it like I've essentially taken those coil packs, turned them 180 degrees, and mounted them on the inner fenders. So now they point, they still kind of point down, but you know, they're pointing at the spark plugs at this point. So I think that I may have wired those completely backwards. I'll have to check the actual coil wiring harness to make sure that that's the case. It should be an easy fix for that, and that would really explain because when we tried to test fire yesterday, we had a misfire, and we just tried it the one time, had that misfire. I was like, well, you know, I want to make sure that this tune's good. I'm not trying to hurt the motor or anything. So whenever I get back in town today, which should be here in just an hour or so, I'm gonna stop by Walmart, get an SD card reader, end up flashing, basically, I don't know the correct term, but I think that's basically what it is, flashing the ECU with this new tune. We're gonna look at the wiring harness for the coils to make sure that those are wired correctly, and once I'm confident with all that, we'll try to fire it again, and hopefully everything goes well. From what I've heard from different people, the Terminator, the initial startup, like based on what you select and everything, some people say it works really well for their stuff, some people say it doesn't. I don't have a very crazy engine setup, honestly. It's really just a, like, basically the bottom end, which when I say bottom end of the block, I'm meaning, like, you know, your crankshaft, your pistons, your connecting rods. That's all, you know, basic LQ9 rebuild stuff. LQ9 was the high compression 6-liter, so it had flat top pistons. Sorry, the camera got really shaky there because I'm driving right now and the roads can be rough. But the LQ9 had the flat top pistons to help increase compression. So it's all stock bottom end. Really, even the cylinder heads are pretty well stocked. I mean, they're 243 cylinder heads, which bumps my compression up just a little bit more versus like what a 6-liter might have come with. And it has upgraded valve springs to handle the Texas Speed camshaft that I have in it. So the camshaft and really my intake manifold and the computer are the only kind of performance oriented things
on the whole truck. Aftermarket performance things, I should say. And so it's really not that crazy of a build. I talked to the engine builder Thursday, I think it was, and he was saying, you know, honestly, this should not be a hard thing for the Terminator software to be able to tune. It may be a little bit rough starting off, but just because of how big the cam is. But aside from that, it should work pretty well. And I watched some videos on doing some basic tuning. I'm not an expert on that by any means, so I'm really trying to make sure I don't just blow anything up. But well, I think that we'll be able to put that base tune in. Once we get it fired up and we let it run for a second, it can kind of start learning. I think there may be something, I may have to have it to a certain RPM and be driving for so long for it to start a learning process, but we'll be able to check that and go from there. But yeah, I'm hoping that those two things, the tune and the coil wiring, are going to be my only two issues for getting it started, because like I said, it's started before. It started with a tune from the handheld, but I was kind of dumb, I think, and overwrote that original tune. The tune might not have been there. Again, I didn't actually check, but with it being disconnected from the battery for so long, I just kind of figured it would have gone away, but I don't know. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be back there in about an hour, and we'll see from there. And hopefully the next time I talk to you guys, I'm updating y'all saying that, hey, it runs and we're getting it on the trailer, we're getting ready to head out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'll see you all in a little bit. All right, everybody, so we're doing it. In the van, Blazer's loaded up, it fires up. I got the tune figured out. I got the we got the coil packs figured out. They were backwards, both sides were backwards, but got all that figured out. It's there is still some tuning stuff to do, but I think that's just going to have to wait until it gets on a dyno. It acts like it's running out of fuel pressure, so I don't know if maybe my pump is just not enough. It doesn't have enough juice to do it. I don't know. I got to figure that stuff out. It was wanting, after about 10 seconds of idling, it wants to go lean. I tried feathering the throttle a little bit to try to bring some fuel in, and it was not doing it. So I do have a rather aggressive cam, so I'm thinking that it's just because of that I'm running into the issues. But we're going to see. This is enough that I can fire it up. I can let my grandma hear it, let Mimi hear it. She'll get to see it. My uncle will get to see it. A lot of people are going to get to hear it for the first time, even if it is just for a few seconds. I know that may not be the best thing to do with a new engine, but I don't care at this point. I'm so excited about it. It's the first time it's ever idled and ran without any input. Before, I had to feather the throttle because it did not have enough exhaust after the oxygen sensor, but now it has enough exhaust. The mufflers are on it. The mufflers sound awesome. Cam sounds great. I'm really just happy about it. But I gotta stop, get one more strap to strap it down, and then get some gas, and I gotta clean up, and then we are on the road to cruise night. Woo! So excited. I'll try to get some video of us down there. I may not, but yeah, I'm gonna see maybe if I can get a reaction video of Mimi whenever she does see it. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you all in a little bit. All right, everybody. Well, we're in Roland right now. Made a stop to get some fuel and take a bathroom break. Made it down here just fine so far. And I think we're gonna do a little pull through town. Drive the trailer through town to let people kind of see it, and we'll stop off and we'll try to get Mimi's reaction. But yeah, made it this far, just a little bit further to go. Already seen a fuel coil hot rods and old trucks showing up, so I'm excited. But yeah, we're almost there.